All right, good to have you back. One of the most common chord progressions in the Western world, in music of the Western world, is the 1 to the 4 to the 4 minor, returning to the 1. Now that 4 minor chord doesn't come from the diatonic major scale because there's a note that's not in the diatonic major scale. Where it comes from is the parallel minor scale, so or the parallel minor key. If we were to look at this in the key of C, 4, 4 minor, 1. Okay, and the movement is 1. There's the A, right, or the 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the lower the 6, parallel minor. And then major. So that 4 minor is not just some kind of altered major. We are borrowing that from the parallel minor key. Really important, because today what I want to talk about is this definition that people call a backdoor dominant, which I've never read in any musical literature. It is the related 5 chord to the 4 minor. So let's just change to the key of B flat. So 1, 4, 4 minor, and 1. Just in triadic chords, okay? Now, when we go to chords that are a little bit more complex, same deal, right? With the minor 7 in this case does have one other note moving, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. And so that 4 minor, what we've concluded is that in this case it would be coming from the parallel minor key. So here's the question, and maybe you can answer it. If I were using this chord, the 2 chord, as a 2 chord, what would be the key I would be in? So in this case, E flat minor. If it's a 2 chord, it would be the 2 chord of D flat, right? So the next question is, what would be the related 5 chord if I were doing a 2-5-1 progression? It would be A flat 7, and then that would resolve to D flat 2, 5, and 1. But we're in the key of B flat, remember? So how about if I insert that into the key of B flat? 4 chord, 4 minor, related 5, and resolution is to the B flat. So that's this is what people call a backdoor dominant. It's not. It's the 5 chord related to the 4 minor. And that 5 chord is also borrowed from the parallel minor key. So let me just recap that one more time. 1 chord, 4 chord, 4 minor returning to 1, or 1 chord, 4, 4 minor, the so-called backdoor dominant, which is actually the dominant chord that is related to the 4 minor. So if we were to look at it as a 2-5 progression, which this is, 2-5, and it's a deceptive resolution to the tonal center, in this case, of B flat, right? So there's my 4 minor, my flat 7/7 chord, because we're in the key of B flat major, okay? Now, what I'm asking you to do is take a look at some classic standard tunes and look for a dominant chord, a dominant 7 chord sound. Well, I shouldn't really call it, let's just call it a dominant type 7 chord sound that's a tone below the tonic. Okay, so tone below, and it resolves to the 1. Take a look at Stella by Starlight, for instance, or you know, there are so many more. Also, so look at that 4 minor as being related to the flat 7/7 chord, and the flat 7/7 chord resolves up a tone. This is a really common chord progression, and it's really quite a lovely lovely change. You know, that flat 7. Okay, that'll give you something to think about. It would be preferable, I think, just my opinion, it would be preferable if we didn't use terms like backdoor dominant and enclosures, because you won't find them in any musical literature. You know, maybe use the related 5 chord of the 4 minor, or use appoggiatura, because this is the language that musicians share. Okay, that is about it for the 4 minor and its related 5. Thanks.